Hi, I'm Eric Faisal, a product manager with Amazon Devices.
And hi, I'm Giovanni Lapidara, a developer advocate at Amazon Devices.
And we're here to talk about some AI agents we've been using to develop apps. Gio, what have you been using lately?
Yeah, I usually like to support developers in developing apps for Fire TV, tablets, and all the platforms they want to support it. I started to use Amazon Q.
Yeah.
Amazon Q is the AI agent developed by Amazon that helps developers across their own developer experience in building not only apps, but all the software they want to develop they want to develop. And for example, I've been using that for mobile apps and TV apps, and it's quite good, especially when I want to develop in React Native. Yeah, I will tell you a little bit later about how I integrate Amazon Q into my developer journey.
Yeah. Well, I guess I should ask, because Q has different flavors, right? Isn't there, a CLI and a VS Code plugin? So which one or ones are you using?
Yeah, so this is a really good question, because while I'm developing for TV apps in React Native, I use VS Code, and Amazon Q has a very good extension for VS Code, so I can use it straight away in my favorite editor. But I like also to use the command line, and Amazon Q has the client for the command line, and it's pretty good because it's really help you being more productive with the command line. It's something that not every developers usually it's easier to use. It depends, let's say, and then also it's able to understand the context of whatever environment or directory the developer is in or I'm in. For example, in my current directory, there's a React Native project, and Amazon Q, the command line one, knows what this project is about and reacts accordingly to the code that is there.
Nice.
And one more thing also, because my background is Android native development, sometimes, but this is more in my free time, I use the extension for Android Studio.
Oh yeah?
So Amazon Q has also the extension for Android Studio.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, let's say, since you mentioned your favorite editor, I think I actually have a new favorite IDE.
Oh, which one is it?
It's Kiro. Yeah, Amazon Kiro, yeah. So it's an AI-forward fork of VS Code, but it has a couple cool features. So first is, it's got this spec-driven development. So what you can do is you can actually turn just a regular LLM prompt into 3 steps, user stories, design, and actual tasks. And then so it breaks down your prompt into a set of instructions, set of specific tasks, and then you can actually go through it step by step.
So it's not only vibe coding, right? Because I was used to the vibe code.
Well, there is a vibe code mode, but yeah, it's kind of like the next level of vibe coding in the sense of it's more specific, perhaps more explicit in your steps. So it gives you perhaps more control of what's being done, more specific, and it always kind of asks you along the way of are these the user stories you wanted? Is this the design you wanted? Which is kind of cool.
That's pretty cool, yes. I've been using Kiro. It's really good when you want to start building production-ready app, because it gives you a lot of control over the requirements. We were talking about the documentation is creating together with the code, and this is really important, especially if you wanna track all the activities around development. It's not only creating lines and lines of code. It's about testing, requirements, specification, design.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. Amazon Q gives me a little bit more of freedom, but I need to control that freedom as well. So I'm not spec-driven development in Amazon Q, but for example, one of my favorite features that I use in the command line is the agents. So I can create sub-agents in Amazon Q. Each of these agent is able to have its own instructions, its own context, and react accordingly. So I have an agent for code reviews, an agent an agent that is developing only the UI part of my TV apps. So I can show you more in a demo after.
Nice. Yeah.
What's your favorite feature in Kiro?
I actually think the steering documents are actually maybe my favorite. So usually when I have a project, I have a markdown file with architecture requirements, like I'm going to use React or React Native, styling guidelines, etc. But with Kiro, the steering documents, so normally I would say, using my architecture document and my UX guidelines.mark.md files, I want to create a project that does blah, 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 or using these, I want to enhance. But with the steering documents, you can actually just upload them, and it uses those automatically on every prompt or on every new session. So I don't actually have to manually type in using my previous previous designs. It does it automatically, which I think is pretty cool.
That's cool. I guess I can use with Amazon Q your steering document and use them as a context for Amazon Q, and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
What about how developer can get started with like Amazon Q or Kiro?
As of this recording, it's in public preview. So Kiro.dev, you can sign up for the waitlist, and I think they're turning them around fairly quickly, but you can sign up for the waitlist and give it a try. There's different tiers of usage available.
But yeah, for Amazon Q, it's pretty similar. It's already available, like generic available for developers. They can go to the Amazon Q developer website, and developers can download or install the version of Amazon Q that they want. So that means you prefer the command line, there is the command line instruction to download and install. You prefer, like me, sometimes Android Studio, you just install the plugin. It's in the marketplace of Android Studio plugins. For VS Code, same. There is an Eclipse plugin as well. And it's also, Amazon Q, it's also integrated with AWS. I am mostly a mobile developer, TV app developers. But if you are like a backend developer, so you are expert in AWS, Amazon Q will help you a lot in configuring all the different subsystems in AWS. And also, like, one thing that probably we didn't talk about is how this tool integrates with external systems, via MCP or like.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you.
Oh, cool.
Does Q support MCPs? Because Kiro does.
Okay, yes, Amazon Q support MCP as well. And it's easy, like you have to just like modify a configuration file and add your MCP server, the one that you want to use.
Yeah.
Like personally, I use a lot of like the GitHub integration, so with the GitHub in MCP. So it helps me to, like for example, I was using this like last week, retrieving all the issues that I have on a GitHub repository. And then I was like working on the issue with the Amazon Q. So like the MCP is like pretty easy, it's pretty straightforward to do.
Yeah, I have to admit, for my actual day-to-day task at Amazon, I actually use Q more, Q CLI and MCPs. MCPs to our internal systems to do things, even things like actually friction logging, like recording a video, doing something and using Q to analyze, break apart that video into frames and writing a report. Based off of my experience on building something, or look up Jira's documentation, internal systems. Yeah. So I have to admit, I probably, well, Kiro is my favorite IDE. I think I probably use QCLI more on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, so that's my turn now. My turn, like, I use Kiro a lot, essentially even because I like the hooks features.
Yeah.
And like doesn't mean that I can associate some action that I want to automatically happen like under a certain condition. So sometimes like I want, after I develop a feature with Kiro, I want to automatically run my unit test. So I can use like I use usually the hook feature of that.
So it seems like we're kind of in agreement that both are pretty good, but I bet I know something that we aren't in agreement on. So I've heard, carbonara, you use cream on it, is that right?
No, I don't. No,
what?
I don't.
What?
No.
And pineapple on pizza?
No, that's like completely.
Cappuccinos after lunch?
No, cappuccinos only like until 11 a.m. Yeah, of course.
So Gio, where can people go to learn more?
So we have the YouTube channel. We have also like the website, developer.amazon.com. And there are like a list of articles, resources, code bases, the code sample the developer can use as well in their day-to-day experience with Amazon Q and Kiro.
I think we recommend you try out Kiro and Amazon Q today.